Well, hello, my party people. Welcome back to NRW. I'm your host today, Rob the Movie Guy, and I thank you very much for joining me today because today I've got a review for the movie Wolf Warrior. Now, if you've never heard of the film, today's your lucky day because I am going to do you a favor, a big favor. But first, let's roll the trailer real quick.
命送在了中国，不要小看中国。
我没有杀人的感觉，救出战友。
Listen up, we've found the target. He's surrounded by the entire army.
You are under arrest.
When they meet me, then they'll know what they're up against.
Alright, now the movie Wolf Warrior is a film I had no intention ever reviewing because I own the movie. I bought this movie over a year ago, and as you can see from the trailer, Scott Adkins is in this movie. So when I saw the Blu-ray cover, I thought I saw him, and I was like, I'm buying this shit tonight. It was $5, so I thought it's going to be fantastic. Why? Because Scott Adkins is in the movie, and this is a Chinese martial arts film that also has Wu Jing, who's also starred in the movie, but wrote and directed the film as well. And I was familiar with him, but I was not too familiar with him. I had seen one fight scene that he had done between himself and Donnie Yen for the movie Killzone. Now, it wasn't the most creative and epic fight scene I've ever seen, but it was definitely a solid one. And I remember thinking, this guy has something that I'm looking forward to seeing again. So hopefully one day I'll be able to come across a movie that he's going to be in, and it's going to blow me away. And then when I saw that Scott Adkins was in the movie, I was like, this is going to be fucking amazing. It's going to be fucking epic. This is going to be Rambo with martial arts. That's what I thought. And Scott Adkins is the villain. There's no way this is going to be a fucking terrible movie. This is going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be the shit. I'm going to be bragging about this movie left and right. I'm going to recommend it to everybody. My sister, my brother, my mom, my stepdad, my son, my wife, my sister-in-law, my dogs, my bird. I'm going to recommend it to everybody, my neighbor's dog, everybody, the mailman, everybody. So I put on the movie that very same night. And then as I sat to watch it, I realized something. This movie was so fucking boring. This is going to be the first review that I'm ever going to do here on NRW, where I'm going to be, shitting on a film that has Scott Adkins in the movie. Sorry, Scott, but I just did not like the film. But as I said in the beginning, there's something I wanted to go back to real quick. I had no intention of reviewing this film, but the reason why I started to review it was because of one particular conversation I had with Mr. Jesse V. Johnson, the director of Triple Threat, Avengement. Both Dave and I had done an interview with him. It's on the channel right now. I highly recommend you check it out. It is a long interview. It's about 2 hours long, but I assure you that it's going to be worth your time because there are some wonderful stories that he does get into that is absolutely fascinating. And I hope you guys get to enjoy it because it's a lot of wonderful details that he reveals that I think is really worth your time to listen. But during that interview, I had asked him about his experience on the movie Triple Threat because I had seen the movie, love it, but I remember thinking something's not right about the film. Something felt a little off kilter about it. Well, I meant to say that I had told him that I had heard in an interview that he had done where he had mentioned there were some Chinese producers who wanted to add more Chinese scenes that were not part of the original cut, but they decided to film it and add it into the movie because they wanted that to be in the film. And that kind of just started making the film a little more uneven as a result of the last minute additions that they wanted to put in the film. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that at the post-production part of it, Wolf Warrior 2, the sequel to this film, had come out, and that movie was so hugely successful. And I'm talking huge. At the time, it was the most successful movie of all time in China. And right now, in this very day, it is still the most successful Chinese film of all time. But eventually in China, that movie ended up getting the topped by Avengers Endgame. So although I still maintained that record for a good period of time, Avengers Endgame came in and said, sorry, Wolf Warrior 2, we're in town, and people are going to want to come to party with us over here. And then pretty much took over the spot as number one movie of all time in China. But the point I'm getting at is this. In that particular interview, he had mentioned something very, very interesting, which I was completely unaware of, was the fact that he had mentioned that what a lot of people didn't realize that movie was mandated by the Chinese government for all standing soldiers to go watch the film. So basically, they were ordered to go to the theaters, pay to see the movie, and sit through it. And being that China is a very largely populated country, I think the most populated country in the entire world, and of course, you can only imagine that the army is just there's a lot of people in the army. I'll put it like that. So it was guaranteed that they're going to be making their money back pretty much more than they anticipated, but because the government had told them they had to go and watch the film. But thankfully, the film was very, very good, and it was well received, and the word of mouth got out, and people started coming in droves to watch the film, and it turned out to be the most successful movie of all time up until Avengers Endgame. But having heard that, I thought, I got to watch this movie and see if it is as good and how patriotic. And because he also mentioned in the film too that, not the film, I'd say in the interview too, that it was almost borderline anti-America. So I thought, well, I got to watch this movie now and see, what the big deal is all about. But as I was getting ready to watch the sequel, I realized, well, maybe I should watch the first movie. It's been a long time since I've seen it. And I might actually come to find some things I may enjoy about the film, because I pretty much wrote off the film after I saw it the first time. And I thought maybe I can give it a shot, because it happens plenty of times where I watch a movie one time and I thought it sucked. And then I come back and watch it again and realize, wait a minute, this was actually a lot better than I thought. So I was hoping the same thing in this movie. Well, I put on the film again and I decided to watch it. And guess what? I was still fucking bored out of my mind. Literally, it took me 3 tries to watch this movie. The first time I watched it that one night, I watched half of it and I got up and I just turned it off and walked away. Second time, I got further into the film, but I wasn't really paying attention. In fact, I was really on my phone most of the time because I was just not invested in the story. So finally, the third day, which was 2 nights later, I decided to watch it. And this time I made sure I had everything, any distractions away from me. I had my water with me. I had a piece of candy, not candy, I meant to say fruit with me, just so I can eat and stay focused on the screen. And I will say that the movie still sucks. I don't like it, but I did come to find some things that I did enjoy about the film. I haven't gotten into the plot yet, and this is the plot. I'm putting it in a nutshell here for you. The plot is simply this. Wu Jing's character, who plays a character by the name of Long Feng, I believe, he is basically the best soldier in all of China. He's like really, really good. He's a good sniper. He's a good knife welder, I guess, and martial artist. He's good at everything. And guess what? If he steps on a mine, he can get himself out of that situation. Why? Because Long Feng's the shit. That's why. And he kills a drug lord's brother in the beginning of the movie. Now the drug lord wants to go find Long Feng and kill him. So he hires a group of men who are basically Westerners from parts of Europe, and I believe someone from the United States, led by Scott Adkins, who, again, as I mentioned before, is the villain in this movie. Well, he's not in the movie that much, and when he is in the film, it's not really impactful. In fact, he was just there, to be honest with you, and I thought, wow, this is really uneventful, Scott. You are the man of the party, and where's the party? That's how I felt. Well, anyway, so then you also come to find out that there is some sort of virus, some sort of something that is supposed to be used on the Chinese people. Basically, this particular drug is supposed to primarily kill Chinese people. So if Chinese DNA, some sort of genetic bioweapon, is supposed to track Chinese people and only kill them. That was the intention. and this thing's going to go out there, and they have to stop this guy before things get escalated and the Chinese people die. So there's a lot of patriotism in this movie. No, we're the Chinese people. We're good people. And honestly, I'm not gonna dog on anything of that sort for this movie. I'm not here to make any sort of political statements. I'm not gonna get into the whole the history of the country. I'm not gonna get into it. I'm solely just watching the film on the basis of the movie itself. And although there are a lot of patriotism in this movie, there are a lot of tropiness that occurs in this film as well too. I found the film to be so annoyingly tropey that I was literally rolling my eyes almost every other scene. I was like, holy crap, this. And this is coming from a guy who loves virtually every action film out there that I grew up with that has all those same tropes. Demolition Man, Tango and Cash, Undisputed 2, 3, and 4, even Ninja 2, and to some degree, even a little bit of Debt Collector 1 and 2. There are definitely some tropes in that film that are very reminiscent of the old school action days that are in this movie. But I love those tropes. Why? Because the story and the characters were fucking phenomenal. In this movie, I got none of that. I really did not connect with any of the characters, not even the main guy, Mr. Long Fei. In fact, the fight sequences in this movie are just okay. Quite frankly, I was very, very disappointed. There are some action set pieces that I was not very interested in checking out. Upon the fourth time I seen that movie, I was thinking, okay, well, let's give it a shot. And I was just kind of dozing away and I had to okay, come back. Okay, I'm watching and I'm not interested. That's how I was for really the whole movie. And there's a fight sequence that happens at the end of the film between Scott Adkins and Wong Jing. And oh my God, I was so... I'm very disappointed in the movie Expendables 2. But as I mentioned before in my top 10 for my top 10 Stallone films, I love that movie. I absolutely adore that movie. That is one of my favorite Stallone films of all time. No question. And although the fight sequence between Jason Statham and Scott Adkins is good, but it's severely short. Doesn't do enough justice, in my opinion, to give Scott Adkins the attention that he deserved to say, hey, this guy is fucking good. Watch him. They didn't do that for me. And I think it's a missed opportunity for people to realize that this guy is fucking awesome. This movie fucking just goes, well, you think that was bad? Well, check out what we can do here. And I was severely disappointed. I was bored in that fight. There were some moments that they had some really good moments, good sequences, good little combat. But that was it. It was really just so boring. And they stop, and then they talk, and then they stop again, and they talk, and then they separate each other. They separate from each other, and then they come back. I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Are you guys fighting? Are you guys trying to exchange numbers? It was just, didn't make any sense to me. I was like really shocked to see how boring that fight scene was. With Scott Adkins. Scott Adkins is in a boring fight scene. I just could not believe it. I was really severely disappointed. Really, really disappointed. Well, anyway, so lo and behold, Long Feng saves the day, and he almost pretty much single-handedly saved the nation. Anyways, there are a lot of things about this movie that I just genuinely did not like. There were some certain moments that I appreciated, and those moments were really just more about the scenery, the cinematography. I thought they were pretty good. It wasn't amazing, but it was pretty good. And I appreciated the scope that they're trying to go for and showcasing how epic they wanted to make this film. And I thought that was cool. But that was about it. I'm sorry to say this here. I love Scott Adkins, but Scott, I did not like this movie. I'm going to go as far as saying this. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but this is true. This movie is not worth a shot. It isn't worth a shot. I don't really think it's really worth your time. I think you may actually not enjoy the film. And I understand that there are some people who did like the movie because obviously the film was very successful in China and they garnered a sequel. So I'm sure there are some people out there who do genuinely love this movie, but I have never come across anyone who has, and I probably would never run into anybody that will say that they did love this movie. I'd be curious to meet them and have them explain to me what is it they love about this movie because I'd be interested to know. But I can honestly say that this was not a very good movie, and I don't really recommend it. But those are my thoughts here on the film. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Have you seen this movie? It's actually available on Amazon Prime right now, and I believe you can also watch it on Tubi. So if you don't want to pay for any streaming platform, download Tubi. It's absolutely free. The film is free to watch on there too. You have to watch it with ads, of course, but it's there. So if you want to check it out, check it out. Let me know what you guys think of the film. Did you love it? Did you hate it? And have you seen Wolf Warrior 2? Because I'll be doing a review for that film, and it's going to be coming on the channel real soon. So be on the lookout for that. And while you're here, if you haven't done so already, why haven't you subscribed to the channel? That would have been the first thing you should have done before you started watching this video. And also hit that notification button as well too. And make sure you also share and like and subscribe to our channel. And guess what? I've also noticed that we've gone up on our numbers. We're over 800 subscribers today. So I thank you very much for all the new subscribers. Please spread the word. Continue spreading the word, I meant to say, of New Release Wednesdays. Nerds rule the world. We hope to get our numbers up to 1,000 subscribers, so please help us out to do that. And make sure you tell your family, your friends, anybody about New Release Wednesdays, because there's a lot of great content that we're working on right now, some of which we really can't reveal, but believe me, they're really worth your time to check out. And when we have it prepared, ready for us to upload, we will make the announcement so you guys can be on the lookout for that as well. And also, while you're doing that, check our social media accounts as well too. We have a Facebook page and Instagram page at New Release Wednesdays, and on Twitter at the NRW. And you can follow myself on my social media accounts. On Instagram, Rob_Medina0585. On Twitter, RobMedina0585. And on Facebook, simply just Rob the Movie Guy. And until next time, everybody, thank you very much for joining me today. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Stay safe out there. Cheers.
We